marriage, babies, pregnancy, all of the things. Okay, this next question is how will I keep working? How will I keep doing my YouTube channel? It was not working. Pretty juicy questions, some topics that I have never touched on before and kind of avoided. Hello everyone, what is up? And welcome back to this month's Shop and Spill. I'm super excited to answer your most asked questions, all things marriage, babies, pregnancy, all of the things that you asked me on Instagram while I do a bit of shopping. I'm gonna be showing you a ton of really trendy and affordable fall fashion finds from Walmart, including what I have on. I cannot stop wearing all of these items. Thank you so much to Walmart for sponsoring today's video. There are a lot of really great layering pieces that you can style depending on what the fall weather is like where you live. Obviously, I live in Florida, so the fall weather is pretty hot, but that doesn't stop me from wearing all of the fall fashion. Anyways, we're gonna get into that in a little bit. Let's jump into all of your most asked juicy questions in this month's Shop and Spill. Starting off with, maybe you guys noticed, I don't have my ring on today. I just forgot to put it on. Also, feeling a little swollen these days, being almost 7 months pregnant, so nothing interesting happening there. I just literally forgot to put it on. I forgot to put it on and I am too lazy to go and get it. So we're rocking no ring today. I did go ahead and put up a question box on Instagram. So we are going to go through those questions one by one. I'm going to see what you guys are wanting to know. We have some pretty juicy questions, some topics that I have never touched on before and kind of avoided on purpose that I am going to chat about today. I feel comfortable enough now talking about them. So let's go ahead and jump into all of the questions. The first question is, how do you deal with nasty comments and nasty people in general? Honestly, I feel like I have a very good audience. Like, I feel like I've built such a strong community and I don't really get that many like nasty comments, nasty people in my messages. Of course there are some, but the good so much outweighs the bad that it's pretty easy to let it roll off my shoulders. There definitely have been times, I'm not perfect, I am human, where like the comments have gotten to me, but I feel like now I've been doing it for so long that I have such thick skin, and like I said, the good so far so much outweighs the bad that it's pretty easy for me to just kind of let it roll off my chest. It's also too, like, I have to remind myself that like, you guys, I do share parts of my life with you, but I don't really know you guys don't really know me. And so we are going to misunderstand things about each other, and that's okay. I'm not for everybody, and that's just something that I've had to learn over the last few years. Also too, with social media, when I do get an influx of like negative comments, that just means that my content is reaching people that it typically doesn't, which is good because that means my channel is growing, which ultimately is one of my goals. So I try to spin it and look at it in a positive way. Next question is, how am I feeling this pregnancy versus my pregnancy with Bryn? I think I might have answered this in my last Shop and Spill. I was obviously like a lot earlier in my pregnancy in my last Shop and Spill, so things have changed a little bit. I feel like what I've realized is mentally this pregnancy is a lot easier on me. I struggled with very debilitating perinatal anxiety when I was pregnant with Bryn. And this pregnancy, I don't really have time to be anxious about anything or really think about anything because I'm so busy with Bryn that mentally this pregnancy is a lot easier. But now the more pregnant I get, this pregnancy is physically a lot harder. I'm very tired. My body just feels super run down. I feel like I'm getting like beat up on the outside and the inside between my toddler and my unborn child, just kicking. So I don't know, I'm just super tired. So physically this pregnancy, like the further I get into it, the harder it is. But mentally I feel really good. So just, I don't know, like some days I do still forget I'm pregnant and I'll be like, oh my gosh, because I mean I am very pregnant at this point, and I feel like because it's my second, I started showing a lot earlier and I feel a lot bigger than I was with Bryn. But mentally I feel really good. So I'm trying to, again, like I said with the last question, focus on the positives, but I am also resting a lot more when I can and trying to prioritize rest, which is really difficult with a toddler, but I do what I can. The next question is, are you worried about how you will continue to do videos, etc. once you have your second baby? So like, how will I keep working? How will I keep doing my YouTube channel? I'm not really that worried about it. I feel like we have a really good system set up. I do have help 2 days a week for 5 hours where I go and film, or if I have to stay home and film. I've also been doing more like at-home shopping videos, which is really nice because I'm able to do that when Bryn naps and do that on like other days, like not the days where I go out and film. I'm not super worried about it. I do know like eventually like the more kids we have, like I'm gonna have to slow down. Like 4 videos a week is a lot, and I feel like you'd be kind of hard pressed to name like 3 other YouTubers that you watch that probably put out as many videos as I do. So I know like I won't be able to probably put out that many videos forever, but I don't know, maybe in the beginning it will be harder, but I think that after a bit we'll get back into the groove that we're in right now, and I'll be able to continue. The next question is, how did we know we were ready for baby number 2? Honestly, and I know that this is going to sound so crazy to most people, we were ready to have baby number 2 right after we had Bryn. We've always been super open about that. You can go and watch my like meet my daughter video, like the first video I did, I think after she was born, where I kind of like introduced her in the beginning and talked a little bit about like my labor experience and how I was doing pretty much immediately postpartum. And we were pretty much ready for baby number 2 right away. And I don't know, Brian and I have just both always really wanted to have a big family. It doesn't scare us, like the thought of having a lot of kids and having a big family. Like it's such a blessing that like it just doesn't really scare us. I feel like we were both kind of made for that. So both of us were just really wanting to grow and expand our family like pretty fast. I feel like there's like pros and cons to both. Like, you know, having a big age gap between your kids, I feel like it's nice because you really get to enjoy each season with each child. But then also there is the whole like starting over, like getting through the entire baby phase, and then, you know, 3 or 4 years later deciding to have your second or your third kid. You have to kind of like start all over from scratch. So I feel like you just kind of have to decide like what works best for you and your family. But for Brian and I, we were just always ready to have our second baby like right after we had Bryn. Even like he is not here yet, brother, I'm having a boy if you didn't know, he's not here yet, and we already know that we will be at least for sure having one more after him, and we're going to reevaluate at 3. We still would love to have like 4 or 5 kids, but we just want to see what it's like with 3 and then see how we feel and like what our living situation is and all of that. But for sure we know we will be having another one after him. I'm not sure how fast yet. I know that that's probably another question, so we'll talk about that more. But I don't know. I think it's just something innate inside Brian and I that like we both just always wanted to have a family, and we've always been really excited and not really scared of it. So we just kind of were ready like right when Bryn was born. And we did start trying like pretty much immediately after she was born, and it did take quite a bit longer to get pregnant with our second than it did with our first. I've talked about my struggles and how we had to like deal with some infertility stuff, some secondary infertility, how we did fertility medication. That's how we got pregnant with baby number 2. And so that was really hard. So I think, I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know if we're going to start trying again for baby number 3 right after we have baby number 2. I don't know exactly what that's going to look like, but I don't know. We just knew. I feel like you just have to have honest conversations with yourself and your partner and figure out what's best for your family. All right, so that is the first batch of questions. We do have more to get to, but I really want to share with you what I have gotten recently from Walmart. I have a ton of really trendy, affordable, fashion-forward finds from Walmart. Amazing layering pieces, really good fall fashion finds. I have a ton I want to share with you. I think you're going to absolutely love them, and I will have everything that I got today linked down below if you want to get any of the same items. They're seriously so comfortable, and I know you guys are absolutely going to love them, and the price point, like, unbelievable. So let's jump into my Walmart haul. Thank you so much to Walmart for sponsoring today's video. I'm so happy with all my Walmart finds. Here I am wearing this really cute hooded jacket that's in a really nice ribbed material. The color is perfect. I also grabbed this maternity tank and these maternity biker shorts, as well as my shoes. Everything I am wearing is from Walmart. So comfortable, so functional, and absolutely perfect for fall in Florida. These brown Madden Girl sandals are everything. I'm literally going to be wearing them every single day, and I love that the brown goes well with the buttons on the jacket. Next up, I have my absolute favorite sweatshirt. I have this sweatshirt in so many colors. I actually got it in 3 more. I could not help myself. They have really pretty colors for the fall. So the first was like the wine Merlot. As I just said, it is so comfortable. I got it in the oatmeal color as well as in this like really pretty rust. These are so perfect to wear with like jeans or biker shorts, leggings. They're long and they cover your butt, which I really like, and I just love that you can dress them up or down. Next up, I picked up this fall dress in the perfect plaid. This actually is not a maternity dress, but if you are looking for just something flowy that can work with a bump if you have one, this is so perfect. But it's just like a nice, really flowy, flattering, and comfortable style. I paired it with this really cute pair of sandals from Time and True. I love all of the gold details. I don't have any sandals like those. Another pair of sandals I picked up are from Madden Girl. As I mentioned, I live in Florida, so I pretty much wear sandals year round. This little cargo jacket is so cute. Cargo jacket, bomber jacket. It is from the brand Celebrity Pink. It's so affordable, and I have it paired with this really cute black romper. I picked up that same romper in this brown color, and I have it paired with this waffle knit jacket. So adorable. I'll have everything linked, everything that I am wearing, in the description down below so that you can grab all of your fall fashion for 2024 on walmart.com. All of these styles can be dressed up or down and styled in different ways depending on what the weather is like where you live, and let me know your favorites down below. Thank you so much again to Walmart for sponsoring today's video. I can't wait to hear your thoughts on all of the fall outfits. I know they're like very casual, very comfy. That's just kind of like where I'm at right now in life. I'm really pregnant. It's really hot here in Florida. So I wanted to get a lot of layering pieces that can be styled throughout the entire season and throughout winter. You know, some mornings or nights here are a little bit chillier, and it works for different climates. So you can layer them in different ways to work for you if you live somewhere where it's colder, or if you live somewhere warm like I do, but you're not necessarily pregnant. So I hope that you guys enjoyed seeing that haul. Jumping back into the questions, the next question is holiday traditions, ? Either ones you bring from your family or hope to start new. So I feel like Brian and I started this kind of like right off the bat. We both love the holidays. We love traditions and things that, like, one thing we took from Brian's family is like a Christmas village. So we have 3 pieces. We actually like could not decide like what brand we wanted to do and what collection. And finally this year we sat down, we were like, okay, like we're not going to get overwhelmed. We're going to pick pieces. And we have decided to go with the, I think it's Department 56 Snow Village collection. And so we got 3 pieces. We did get a house, a train station, and a bakery. And we are going to be setting up a Christmas village. So pretty much how Brian did it growing up was, what Brian was the firstborn, and they started their Christmas village the year he was born with one building. And now obviously Brian is like, how old is he? 33? So they have like a huge village now, and it wasn't ever like kept up, like tucked away where they couldn't see it. Like his dad built this like massive platform, so they were kind of able to like play with it and enjoy it. And Brian wants to do the exact same thing. So that's a big tradition that we've taken from Brian's side. From my side, I just feel like the traditions we have taken are like staying home for the holidays, like not going out or being dragged around to see family, not traveling for the holidays. That was really important to me, and something that I like made really clear right from the jump, like way before we even have kids. My big thing has always been Santa won't be able to find us if we're not at our own house. And I know some families travel for Christmas and maybe that doesn't apply to you, but just personally, Santa told me that he won't be able to find me if I'm not at my own house. So we do not travel for the holidays. I just think like growing up, it was so nice to be able to like stay in our pajamas all day and like not have to get dressed up to go anywhere and not have really any family over unless like someone was visiting, like no one to impress, like nowhere to go. And so I want the same thing for our kids for Christmas. So that's something that we've taken from my side. And then like traditions wise, we've taken a lot of like food things from Brian's side, from my side, and then things that we do that are just for us. So like one big thing that we do is that for Christmas Eve, we do like make your own pies. So we do shepherd's pie and a turkey pot pie. And then for our kids, we want to do like kind of like a what is it called? Like a lineup where they're able to like choose what they want to put in their Christmas pie. So that's something that we're doing that we're super excited about. We've already done it the last few years, but we've just done a turkey pot pie and a shepherd's pie. And then this year with Bryn, we're going to let her make her own little pie and she gets to choose what goes inside. And that's a tradition that we have started that is ours. But yeah, we have tons of like food traditions, things that we do, things we like to watch on like TV, like movies and the Christmas parade from Disney, stuff like that. I absolutely love the holidays, so I'm just getting really excited thinking about it, especially the fact that we'll have 2 babies this year for Christmas. Whew, that is crazy. I got several questions on like a house update, like are we staying in our house? Are we moving? I wish I had more of a concrete answer on this. I feel like things are still kind of like up in the air. We are either going to be this spring signing to build or either way that would be renewing our lease for 1 more year and then moving in the spring of 2026. So I don't know exactly what's going to happen. We're either going to buy a house this upcoming spring and move, or we are going to sign to build and plan to move the following spring because obviously like building takes quite a bit of time. So I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen yet. Brian and I don't totally agree on buying versus building. I really want to build. I'm more willing to move a little bit farther away from where we live right now. Not super far, like we're talking like 15-20 minutes from where we live right now, whereas he really wants to stay in the area that we're in. He really, really loves it, which I do too, but it's just building around here. Like the builder that we love isn't in this area, and it's just a lot more expensive to build here. You get a lot less for your money here versus like where we would move. So I'm not 100% sure yet. We've made a deal of like, okay, like if by the spring like we have accomplished these goals, then we'll do this, or these goals will do that. So we'll see what we end up doing. But I think for sure, probably, we're going to end up renewing our lease for 1 more year and then for sure moving in the spring of 2026, which sounds so far away, but time goes by so flippin' fast. Okay, this next question is tea and something I've avoided talking about for a long time. Someone asked, how come you rarely talk about Brian's family or show visits when they come? Which is definitely a very interesting observation. I don't know if like other people have felt that way or like wanted to know if there was like tea there. It basically just comes down to like the relationship I have with my family versus the relationship Brian has with his family, and then the relationship that I have with his family and he has with mine is just so different. My family and I are so far up each other's butts that we just talk all the time. Like the communication, even when I met Brian, like the communication I had with my family, like the communication level was so different than the communication level he had with his family. But he would go and see his family a lot more. They, at the time, all lived in Arizona, whereas I wouldn't go and visit my family in Massachusetts as much, but we would talk constantly. So the communication levels and just kind of like the way that we interacted with our families has always been really, really different. So my sisters and I and me and my mom, we talk all day, every day. Like we're constantly on FaceTime, we're constantly texting, we're on the phone every single day. And that's just us, and that's what works for us. And until I had Bryn, I didn't really see them that much unless I went to Massachusetts. Like they didn't really come down to Florida to visit me. Whereas Brian doesn't talk to his family as much, like on the phone or like text or FaceTime. Like they never do that stuff really. But he would go back to Arizona and visit a lot more before we met. And so the communication has just always been really, really different, and how that looks for us and our families. And then when Brian and I got together, obviously, like I still talk to my mom and my sisters all the time. And obviously now that we have kids, like we do talk and FaceTime with them a little bit more so that they can see Bryn. Another thing you guys have to keep in mind is that like this is my YouTube channel, and if you guys have been here since like the beginning, I did do videos, like I used to do vlog style videos, and so I did videos on like family vacations with my family, and I did videos with my siblings, and they were like more actively involved in my YouTube channel. Like if you've been here since like the very beginning, which is like probably like 4 of you, then you'll be like, oh yeah, like they've always kind of been a part of it. Whereas like Brian's family doesn't really understand. I mean, they understand more now, but like this is not their thing. Like they don't want to be on YouTube. They don't want to be on social media. I don't know. So it's just different. It's just a different dynamic. Of course, like every family dynamic is really different. And so they don't want to be on camera. And I also don't vlog my life anymore. So I just don't share that side of my life. Like I don't share the things really that Brian and I do when I'm not working, and I don't share when my family comes to visit. Like you might see stuff on social media, but that's just mostly because that's a relationship I have with my family, but it doesn't mean that that doesn't exist with Brian's family just because you don't see it, if that makes sense. It basically just comes down to family dynamics and communication. The next question is, when are we getting a master bedroom makeover? This is a really, really, really good question. Pretty much every single thing has come before the master bedroom, and when I'm finally like, okay, like let's do the master bedroom, something else comes up and it just gets like put on the back burner. I really want to do the master bedroom, and Brian thinks that it's not worth it to do it now because if we end up moving, and also like the baby is going to be in our room for the first few months, so he's like, I don't know if we should do it because a lot of his stuff is going to be in our room. So I don't know. I really want to do it. We don't really spend a ton of time in our bedroom, honestly. Like we just sleep in there. We don't hang out in there or anything. So it hasn't been like a huge priority, but I really would love to do a master bedroom makeover. So if we end up renewing and staying in our house like a whole extra year, we will absolutely do a master bedroom makeover, probably when the baby moves into his room. That will be pretty much the last space that we have to do in this house. And I think eventually we will do something, especially because we want to have all of that done, like the furniture and stuff that we can take with us wherever we move. I've been trying to be very intentional about the furniture that I purchase and making sure that it's kind of like an heirloom piece, like really good quality, and something that can go with a lot of different styles, something that we'll have forever. So it's coming eventually. I wish I had a better answer, but I don't. Ooh, this is a good parenting question. Somebody said, how do you plan to split the nighttime wake-ups and feedings? So if you've seen my other shop and spills, then you would probably know that my kids are exclusively formula fed. So Brian and I are really able to share the responsibility of feeding them. And it works really well for Brian and I, especially because he is such a morning person and I am a massive night owl. So pretty much the way we break it up is I have any like wake ups and feedings that happen from like 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. And then anything that happens like 4 a.m. to 10 a.m. is Brian's. And I'm able to like get some sleep in the early morning hours. So that's pretty much how we have managed that. Obviously, if I was like breastfeeding, the responsibility would fall all onto me. But that is one of the big reasons why we choose formula. One, it's just easier to know exactly how much they're getting. I feel like formula fed babies, and I could be wrong about this, but I just do feel like because they're getting more calories and you know how much they're taking in, they do tend to sleep a little bit better than breastfed babies. So we'll see if we have a similar experience with number 2 that we had with Bryn. But Bryn always has been, honestly, a really good baby, and she's always been a really great sleeper, a great napper, and I just pray that we hit the baby jackpot again when it comes to sleep. Someone wanted to know if we are nervous, or if I'm nervous to have 2 under 2 in just a few short months. Yes and no. Like, I am definitely nervous. Like, Brian and I, even like the other night, were like, oh my God, we're gonna have 2 kids. Not that 1 isn't hard, but 2 is like, we are not messing around anymore. Like, we have 2 kids, and that feels crazy, but I know that we'll settle into it and get into a routine eventually. So I'm like a little bit nervous. I'm honestly most nervous for the transition. Like, I just want it to be very like comfortable for Bryn, and I want her to be happy. Like, that is definitely what I'm most worried about, is like making sure that she feels loved and supported in this transition, and that like nothing really changes for her. So that is something I am a little bit worried about, but I do feel like he's going to fit in so perfectly with our family. I feel like she's going to be so excited to have a brother. She always comes up to my belly, gives it a hug, and she says baby, and she says his name. And like, I think that even though she doesn't fully understand, we have a bunch of books about like her becoming a big sister, and I think she's really going to enjoy being a sister and like helping where she can, and just having like a built-in best friend. I think she's going to be super excited. So yes, I'm nervous, but also really, really excited. Next question is, what are we gonna get brother for Christmas? So he will be getting a sister, 2 parents that love him, a crib. He is going to be like mere days old at that point. So obviously he's gonna have like a stocking with his name on it, and he'll probably just get like items that he needs, really, like not anything crazy. Some toys, of course, but like he is going to be like new. So nothing too crazy, but obviously not nothing. So I don't exactly know. Next Christmas is going to be really fun because he will have just turned 1. And so I think that he'll, you know, be a little bit more excited, obviously, and we'll be really excited to get him stuff for Christmas. But this year he's just like so new and so fresh that it'll mostly just be like essentials and then like a stocking with his name on it and stuff like that. But yeah, so that's kind of what we're planning for Christmas. And then the last question is, this is a big one. I don't know if you guys are going to see this coming, but you guys wanted to know, how is Brian liking his new job? He quit. It was not working. It was not a fit. It was not a fit. He worked there for about a month. He got through the training. It was more than a month, I think. He got through the training, and then once he got through the training, the job was just not at all what was described to him, or like kind of what he was told it was. And it just was not a fit for our family. He was literally gone like 14 or 15 hours a day. Like he would get up and leave at 7 in the morning and wouldn't get home till like 10:30 or later at night. And it was just not working. And so he quit. Brian and I are both very entrepreneurial and do have like other business endeavors and like work endeavors, side hustles, things like that we do. So it's not really a big deal. Honestly, it was just like hurting our family so much more than helping us to have him gone 24/7. Like it just was not working for us at all. Our dynamic, like Brian and I have never been apart. Like we've always both, like we met in the pandemic, so obviously we quarantined together. Brian owned his own business at the time, and so he wasn't really, like he worked from home a lot, and then I started my YouTube channel, so that's like, you know, a little bit out of the house, but also a lot in the house. So we're just like used to being together. So him being gone all the time was so hard on all 3 of us. It was really hard on Bryn. It was hard on Brian to be gone. Like he hated being away from us. It was a lot on my plate because I also work full time, and then now I have Bryn full time and had no help with her, and so it just wasn't working. So he didn't like it, and he doesn't work there anymore. Anyways, that is all of the questions that I am answering in this month's Shop and Spill. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give it a big thumbs up, hit the subscribe button down below, and the notification bell. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much to Walmart for sponsoring today's video. Be sure to check out all of the links to everything that I showed you in my Walmart haul in my description. I love you guys all so much. Thanks for shopping and spilling with me today and every day, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.